Welcome to the Indie Masala podcast, season 2, episode 18, overall episode number 88. Indie Masala, where we talk about health, fitness, and awakening. Indie Masala, more life every day. Now, in India, we have a typical greeting behavior when you meet your elders and we pay our respect by touching their feet. The typical blessing which comes from their mouth is be happy. It's never be healthy or be wealthy, but it's be happy. And I probably never got to understand the deeper meaning behind it till my 40s. Now I realize that you can be having a lot of money, you can be having a lot of materialistic things, but you may not be happy. So it's a deeper meaning behind it. And even if you check with people world across, people would say that the principal aim of our life is to be happy. Even countries like USA has that right in the constitution itself, the pursuit of happiness. Countries like South Korea, Japan, Brazil have a happiness charter. And there is a top 5 happy countries in the world list. And I was just checking, number 1 is Finland, number 2 Iceland, number 3 Denmark, number 4 Switzerland, and number 5 Netherlands. In the larger countries, Australia comes at number 12 and USA comes at number 14, while UK is number 18. India, sadly, out of 149 countries surveyed, India is at 139. Congratulations to my friends at Pakistan who are at 105th number in the World Happiness Charter. Now, what is happiness? It's a feeling. When you know that life is good and you can't help but smile. It's the opposite of feeling sadness around. A country like Bhutan has a gross happiness index like a GDP, and we celebrate World Happiness Day on 20th of March. Probably the Greeks were the first who could probably define happiness. So there is something called pleasure, which gives you instant kind of gratification, and then something called virtue, which is a long-term virtuous thing you do. And what we seek, pleasure, though gratifying, has its own limits. On the other hand, the virtuous things which we do also give us happiness. But it's a balance between both. Otherwise, rich kids who has all the pleasure of the world available at their disposal should be the happiest, but they often are not. Neither are the leftist who has a lot of value on the virtues of life. So you have to have a balance between the pleasure and the virtue to probably find what is happiness. Sean Aker, the TED Talk, which is one of the most watched TED Talks on happiness, he says the people think that happiness is the result of success. But neuroscience research shows that the reverse is actually true. When you overcome a challenge, you feel happy. A job success depends 25% on the person's IQ, but rest is optimism, social support. How do you look at stress? Do you look at stress as a challenge, or you look at it as a threat? And then external world factors and surroundings probably contribute to 10% of overall long-term happiness, but 90% is how I am perceiving, how my brain is perceiving, processing the world around me. So happiness comes from within. Robert Bishwa's Diner, Indiana Jones of Positive Psychology, has a model called the AIM model, the model of happiness. AIM, A stands for attention. Pay close attention to the good things that happen to you. I stands for interpretation. Try to interpret the experience in positive light. Look for the positive whenever you can. And M stands for memory. Peg the positive events to your memory. Paint positive mental pictures in your experience. Invest in experiences and savor them. It can pay big dividends. You recall what more often? Do you recall happiness, or do you recall sadness or negative stuff more? Now, often there is talk that money brings happiness. True, but it has certain limits. A 2010 Princeton study says happiness in earning money is there till you reach a certain level, and that for the US citizens that's $75,000 per annum. In India, it qualifies to 55 lakh in rupees per annum equivalent. So Till the time you're hustling and getting to that $75,000 per annum limit and mark, the happiness increases. But then after $75,000 per annum, the guarantee is lost that happiness will continue to increase. Though not having money reduces happiness, definitely true. Probably money brings certain level of control in a life, which may be a bigger factor which gives rise to happiness around money. Social scientist author Sri Brook put 3 mathematical formulas for happiness. And he says, happiness is a sum of genes, circumstances, and habits. Now, he says, focus on habits as genetic disposition is predetermined. And we tend to get into psychological homeostasis, that is, getting used to either good or bad in our life if it continues for quite some time. And there is also something which I often see is there is one philosophy that you have to hustle for happiness. And then there is another Indian philosophy of Jahi Vidhi Rakhe Ram. Be the way the God keeps you. Now, it's again a balance between both. Not always just lying down gives you happiness, and not always hustling gives you happiness. Now, habits. What are habits? Habits are a sum of faith, family, friends, and work. Now, faith here doesn't mean religious faith, but the mental and emotional makeup of an individual. How important are friends and family in happiness? A Harvard 1938 study, which was done on 724 men, one group was Harvard sophomores, and second group was local Boston poor kids. It was found in the study, which ran very, very long term, till they got into their elder years. People who were more socially connected were the happiest. So it doesn't matter that how many number of relatives you have, but what matters is how deep is your relationship. So it was seen that people are happiest in their 80s who were happy in their relationship in their 50s. Creating a sense of purpose gives happiness. And I often say, if your why is strong, why you want to live, you can endure anyhow. There is another formula. Satisfaction is what do you want divided by what do you have. And you have to put focus on what do you have. And that's the Hindu philosophy, wherein they say, control your desire. Control your desire. I also feel that happiness is also looking beyond perfection. Have you seen a perfectionist who seemed to be happy to you? I haven't seen one. Gratitude is a good substitute for happiness. Kindness increases happiness. Dalai Lama says that acts of kindness give you long, long-lasting happiness. And probably that explains that why billionaires would turn to be philanthropists and the later years of their life. Happiness is contagious. And I would request you to listen to my Magga Baba episode to know a little bit more about happiness and the Indian philosophy behind it. For today, I wish you all the happiness in the world. Be happy. Enjoy your life. Don't try to be a perfectionist. Here is Indi Masala signing off for today. See you all tomorrow. Bye.